Good morning, welcome to lesson 95. Today we're going to be working with the volume of a right solid. So today we're going to be able to find the volume of a right solid, and then we're going to ask the question, what is the formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism? Okay, let's review. We've worked with right solids before. Any right solid is a geometric solid whose sides are perpendicular to the base. So one right solid that we've worked with before is like a cube. Okay. And we've found the volume of this cube before. We have length and we have width and we have our height, and we've multiplied all those together to find the volume of this cube. There's a new formula we're going to learn today, and it's going to help us find the volume of any right solid. So it will be, you can use this for the volume of a triangular prism, a rectangular prism, or even a cylinder. So let's take a look at some other right solids. The volume of right solid equals the area of the base times the height, always. And our new formula is going to be V equals capital B, H, and that capital B stands for the area of the base. So let's find the area of this right solid. Well, what shape is the base? The base is just a rectangle, right? So this is a rectangular prism. So it is 5 units wide, 5 units long, by 2 units wide by 3 units high. So my volume would equal the area of the base, that big B, which is 5 times 2, which is 10, times my height, which is 3. And so the volume of this right rectangular solid would be 30 units cubed. Because remember, any kind of volume is always in cubic units, so don't forget that 3. Don't forget our label, okay? Let's look at some other right solids. This says if the base of a solid is a polygon, it's called a prism. Well, what was a polygon? A polygon was any straight-sided closed shape, right? So this is a polygon, and it's a right square prism. My base is a square, right? So the base here, if I were to apply the formula V equals BH, the base on this, the area of this base, would be length times width, right? Now we have a right triangular prism. The base is a triangle. Okay, so the area of this base, the big B here, would be 1/2 of the base times the height of that little triangle, right? And we have a right circular cylinder. This says if the base of a right solid is a circle, it's called a right circular prism. So we have a kind of a cylinder here, right? And my base here is a circle. So the B in this instance would equal pi r squared. And if that's where the B comes in, the area of the base. And then to that we multiply it by the height to find the volume of all of these. Here's my height here. Here's my height here, and here is my height on my cylinder. Okay, so that's how we find the volume of any of these figures. Let's do an example. Let's find the volume of the right triangular prism below. Well, it's calling it a triangular prism. My base is a triangle. So if we apply the formula V equals capital BH, remember that capital B stands for area of the base. The area of the base of a triangle. How do we find the area of a triangle? 1/2 BH. And to that we're going to multiply it by the height of the object, right? The height of the triangular prism. So we're going to apply 1/2. My base here is a 4. My height on this base is a 3 times the height of the whole object. That is 6, right? 6 units. So we're just going to multiply all these together. 1/2 of 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6 times my height of 6. My volume will be 36 units cubed. Okay? Let's try another example. Let's find the volume of this right solid. Here we have a cylinder. Remember, my base is different here. base is a circle. So we're going to have to find the area of the circle times the height of my cylinder. Well, my height is 10. That's easy to see, right? And in this instance, it's telling me to leave pi as pi. So volume is going to equal, how do we find the area of a circle? Pi r squared times the height of this cylinder will give me volume, right? They told me to leave pi as pi, so I'm just going to leave it as a symbol. Now my radius squared, it gave me my diameter, but my radius only goes halfway across, right? So what is my radius in this instance? It is 3, and I'm going to square that 3 times my height of 10. Well, volume will equal pi times 9 times 10. So my volume will equal, and let's call this inches. We'll call these inches. So 9 times 10 will give me 90 pi inches cubed. Okay, let's try another example. We're going to find the approximate volume of this shed, approximate volume. And we're going to break this shed up into 2 pieces. I'm going to break it up into this piece down here. It's a rectangular prism, and then I'm going to have the top, which is my triangular prism. Okay, so let's break it into 2 pieces. And it says that this rectangular prism is 8 feet by 10 feet 2 inches. Well, it said approximate, so I'm just going to round that to 10 feet. That 2 inches is too small for me to round it up, and then I have 7 feet here. So volume will equal big BH. Volume will equal the area of my base is 8 feet times 10 feet times my height of 7. So volume will equal 8 times 10 is 80. 80 times 7 is 560 feet cubed. Okay, now let's move on to this triangular prism here. My base is that triangle, right? We're still going to apply the same formula. V equals B, big BH. That capital B stands for the area of the base. So let's look at this base of this triangle. How do we find it? Well, it's 1/2 the base times the height of the prism, right? And if I do 1/2, and the base here is 8 feet times my height of 2 feet times the height of the entire object. Now let's look. What is the height of this? How tall or how long is this? That is going to be my 10 feet right there. So my volume will equal 1/2 of 8 is 4. 4 times 2 will give me 8. And then 8 times 10 will give me 80 feet cubed for the volume there. And if we add 560 plus 80, what do we get? Well, if we add this together, the volume of this entire object, or this entire shed, is going to be 560 plus 80, which will give me 640 feet cubed. Okay, and that is it for this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. There'll be some more examples in your ALEKS, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.